Okay, we're diving right into Lightroom. Let me show you how it's done. So the first thing you want to do is import your photos. So click Import Photo and Video, and then find your photos. I have this giant hard drive. I gotta scroll all the way down here and look for it. I also had a hard time finding a photo that hadn't already been edited. I tend to delete my raw photos after I've edited them, which is kind of a bad habit. You can never go back and re-edit them from scratch, but I was able to find an old photo here. This photo is like nothing spectacular, but it's just a typical photo that I thought you guys could relate to, of just taking a photo of your kids and wanting to edit it. So the first thing we're going to start here is in the basics panel, and we're just going to change the exposure. Changing the exposure and the contrast is huge and makes such a big difference. If you bring the exposure up, you always need to bring up the contrast a little bit. I like to take down my highlights quite a bit because then I can brighten the photo a little bit more and the photo won't get too blown out. I like to bring up the shadows a little bit. This picture was taken right after, the sun I think was just about to set. You can kind of see it. It's just about to go down. So we were kind of low on light here. So I'm just messing with these sliders. I like to bring down my blacks. That makes the colors a little bit more vibrant. And then look how big of a change already. And you can click on those little Y's there to do that. So yeah, I think I'm going to bring up the exposure a tiny bit more, bring down my highlights a little bit more, and then this is where you can make your photo warm or cool. So it just depends which look you're going for. For this photo with the sunset, I liked it warmer because it was already naturally warmer, and so it just felt like it should be warmer. So I like it at about 57:21. And then let's scroll down to dehaze. This photo has a little bit of haze in it, so if you move it up ever so slightly, you can kind of fix that. You don't want to ever go overboard on any of these sliders. Just make small little subtle adjustments and it makes all the difference. So I'm pretty happy with that already. I know my son's skin looks kind of orange, so we can kind of come down and play around with that in just a second. This is the tone curve. I'll show you how to use that in a minute. Okay, so you can just grab that little circle next to those colors and you just click on the face and hold down your mouse and move up or down, and it will adjust wherever you have that wherever your cursor is clicked. So like his hair looks a little bit like there's a big giant yellow ring, it's too strong. So I'm just lifting that luminance to fix that a little bit. And I sometimes like to just bring it back and forth and kind of play around and see what I like. And then I'm really funny about my boys' hair. I want the red to be their natural, true color that I see in person, and so I'm always messing with it and adjusting the red so that it looks natural. And I just want to bring those blacks down a little bit more and up that contrast, just kind of defining all the edges a little bit more. And that's way too much sharpening. It will make the photo noisy. And then you always want to enable profile corrections. It will find the lens that you used and take away any lens distortion or dark edges that the lens may have brought. And I usually like to bring up the sharpness a little bit. I usually hold down or command. It's either command or option. Try both. And then if you hold it down while you bring up the sharpness, it will make the image look like this. So bring up your sharpness a little bit. Hold down option while you're bringing up your masking. And it will show you exactly what you will be sharpening. Now you don't want to sharpen the whole image. That just doesn't look natural. You want to get those edges, those eyes and those lips and those little details. So I'm actually going to bring my mask all the way up to 100 and so we're just sharpening the edges. Just kind of playing around here to see what it looks like. And I'm happy with that. And look at the difference. Before and after. You can also hit you can also hit the backslash button to see it before and after. I think it's a little bit too bright. But sometimes I just start messing and then I go back and forth a few times until I fill it out and just feel what feels right to me. I'm creating a virtual copy so you guys can see what it looks like when I put on a filter, because I want to show you that if you just learn how to use Lightroom and adjust these slight changes, you really don't need to buy all these filters and presets. Sometimes they're helpful and they save time, but sometimes they don't. And there usually is a lot of adjustments that need to be made. So these Visco Pack 5 are really popular and I really like them, but I honestly never use them because I just like making my own adjustments and I feel like I have more control. But sometimes you'll get lucky and one click really will just do the trick. Or if you're not super picky, then you can just put on a preset. So that was Kodak 100 on the Visco Pack 5. I don't think they're going to be selling desktop anymore, if they even still do, but you can buy them for the phone. So yeah, there's a difference between the preset and then my photo. There's my photo, there's the preset. And I just don't love it. I think I like my edit a little bit better, but this gives you that film look. And there's a before and after. So I'm happy with that. So now what I like to do is take a screenshot of and then I'm just going to export the photo. And you just go to File, Export.